Hello, and welcome along to the stream tonight. I hope that everyone's doing well. I'm gonna be continuing. Hello, Maurice. How are you today? Tonight, I am going to be continuing. Oh, hello, Kim. You're in the chat room as well. Hello. Seems to be some delay in the audio. Okay. Let's do the usual of closing some things down. Hopefully, it won't be too problematic. Audio comes first for me, then video. Oh, weird. So from my point of view, everything seems to be good. So I can only assume then it's Twitch related. So fingers crossed it won't plague us too much. I'll close this one out as well. Why not? Pretty much closing everything on my host machine to see if that cleans things up a little bit. Let's get rid of this one too. Let's get rid of this one. And then let's get rid of this one. What's that? There was a stream from Visual Studio just now, and there was code spaces for VS and VS Code. Yep. So a couple weeks ago, when I did the code spaces stream, I mentioned that there was a code spaces for VS Code. So we played with that on stream. So that allows you to connect your VS Code instance to your code space running in GitHub to then create, edit, delete, run code directly, remotely from VS Code into that workspace. Workspace is the wrong term. Code space. Remember that one where we didn't have much luck getting things working, unfortunately. Yes, yeah. So there's. I didn't show that one, but yes, there is a CodeSpaces plugin for both VS and VS Code. Yes. So yeah, it's taking over the world, taking over the coding world. Right. So in terms of what I'm hoping to look at tonight, I'm hoping to continue to work on the VS Code extension for Cake. Now, last week, in between fighting with TypeScript, we got to a point where all of the Dependabot plugins, Dependabot PRs, had been merged into the codebase. So since then, Dependabot's been busy again, and it created another 11 pull requests for us to look at. So I've knocked off some of them just before I came on stream tonight, and there's a couple left to do, but there is one thing I want to focus on tonight. So last week, we were playing around with modifying the snippets, or one of the configuration snippets. Now, the reason I'm not continuing with that is because after the stream last week, I went back and had a discussion with some folks in the Cake team, and basically, I can't get consensus on how we want to do it. So the way that we were going to do it, which was kind of using this approach. So after stream, I went away and I played with this, and technically it works. So this allows us to have a separate program parameter if we're running on Windows compared to what we're running on Mac. Bottom line is, this doesn't seem to work. I tried this on my Mac and it doesn't work. Simply put, it tries to run the program called .NET-Cake, and for some reason it can't find it. Even though I can run it directly from the terminal, it doesn't seem to want to work. This also couples this snippet directly to a globally installed version of Cake, which is not necessarily the case. Seemingly, if you use the tool manifest installation of the Cake tool, which is really what we're recommending going forward, these shims don't work. So what that requires then is to manually run .NET Tool with the debug option to then allow attaching to the process, which is not as clean. So bottom line is there's lots of backwards and forwards here into how to do things properly. There's a link, or Matthias hasn't put it in here, I don't think, but there is a link to an open issue on VS Code to allow spawning of child processes and to allow debugging of those child processes. But basically it's all up in the air, and it's not, I don't I don't have an answer as to how we're going to do this yet. So instead I thought I would go and look at another portion of the code base that needs to be updated. So what I want to do first of all though is I want to try and get some of these PRs, finish off merging these PRs in. So while I'm doing that, how's everyone else doing? What's everyone been up to since we last spoke? Has anybody been working on anything interesting? Or what have we all been working on? I'm going to do this. So it won't work even if you do .NET Cake without the hyphen. So if you do that approach, Kim, so if I go back to this issue that we had here, if I go back to this one, so you'll see that's one of the things that Matthias was trying. So if we scroll down to where he was doing some stuff, which is this one here, you'll see that's essentially what he's doing. So he's doing .NET tool run .NET Cake, and he tried it with .NET Cake. The problem there is that it spawns a child process from VS Code, and you can't then attach the debugger directly to that child process. That's why what Matthias was suggesting was to have an attach in the launch.json rather than a launch, because that would be the only way of attaching to that spawn child process. Been having fun with working out the use of .NET Tool Manifest for tools, having to update the toolpath in the settings of those apps. So there's definitely some context Git version. Beastie Demon, you shouldn't have to do that. Let me bring something up. You shouldn't need to do that. That part should already be taken care of for you. Because if we go in here and look at source, where am I wanting to look? That's not the right repository that I'm in. I was confused as to why that was necessary. Let me go into here, go into cake.common, go into tools, go into Git version, and if we look at the Git version runner, then you'll see that in here somewhere, here, Cake's already looking for all of the aliases or the known shims for Git version. So assuming that you've installed that as a .NET Global tool locally into your tools folder, then you shouldn't need to go and do that work. That work should already be done for you, but maybe as Matthias is saying, but that won't pick up. It will though. No, well, well, let's put it this way: it's always worked for me. Is root manifest? Maybe here's the manifest. Git version.tool. Yeah, the manifest doesn't add the shims, but so how has this always worked for me then? Because this has always worked for me. That was the whole point in what we did, wasn't it? We use local tools. Right, sorry, that's yes. Right, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm getting confused. Okay, so to clarify what's going on in the chat room, I don't use the tool manifest to install the tools other than Cake itself. I use the module preprocessor directive to install the tools, which then does put the shims in place, which then allows me to use this functionality. So what I'm referring to there is if I go to something like cake contrib, cake.recipe. So no, it's what Matthias was saying, because I use the .NET module. So if I go into here and I go into the tools, tool settings, this thing, then where's the thing I'm looking for? Yeah, so because I do this as a preprocessor directive using the .NET module, the .NET tool module, it installs the tools locally into my tools folder, not using the tools manifest, then it all works. And I think what Matthias is saying there is if we go into the cake build itself, and if we go into build.cake, then this is this more direct approach. Then here's the global tools being installed. So git version and git release manager there being installed as tools, and then using the cake contrib cake dot net. No, what's it called? .NET tools module. I think. What's it called? Is it .NET tool module? I forget. It was me that wrote it. I can't remember the name of the bloody thing. .NET tool module. There we go. So this will allow you to do what we just spoke about. So have a look at that. Right, where was I? I was merging things. Oh no, that's what I wanted to steal. If I restore this, I want to put this into that issue. Let's say debugging the spawning of child processes is being tracked in this issue. Yeah, got on that one. Okay, so pull requests. Where do we get to? We got to. Let's see if we can't rebase this one and get this one merged in. So that once I get all these merged in, the thing that I was going to look at was the current command within the VS Code extension, which deals with the installation of a bootstrapper. And I'm going to change that, I think, if I can get it to work. I'm writing mocks with a sultry voice in the background. Not a bad way to spend a Monday afternoon. Why, thank you. Stevie is mocking out some stuff with PowerShell and Pester and all sorts of good stuff. Stevie's got a new module. What's the module called, Stevie? Is it the OO module? Drop a link in the chat line. Chat line? Drop a link in the chat room to let folks. It's called OO. Hope you're not mocking us. I was playing with mocks as well today. Not the same mocks as Stevie, but different mocks. So currently, if we go back to, let's open up the code base. So currently, if you run the cake command, which is to install a bootstrapper, it will download a bootstrapper for either for Windows or for POSIX, but that bootstrapper is for the old cake.exe. So I want to modify that slightly, and I want that to allow the end user to select which runner they want to use. So if you've been following along with the documentation changes, that Pascal, who is in the chat room, has been doing, then we have this concept of what runners are supported for Cake. So the first one, the one that we recommend, is the .NET Core tool. There's also Cake.Frosting. It's standalone. You don't directly need a bootstrapper for that. And then you have the Cake runner for .NET Framework, and you have the Cake runner for .NET Core. So what I want to do, what I think I want to do, is when user comes up and says, I want to install a bootstrapper, I want to first of all say, which runner are you using? Are you using .NET Global Tool? Are you using Cake.exe? Or are you using Cake.Core CLR? Once they pick that, they'll then got the option of whether they want to download the Windows one or the POSIX one, and then we'll run off and download it. That's what I think I'm wanting to do. So I think there's 2 members of the Cake team in the chat room tonight. So first question is, does that make sense? And if it does, are you okay with me putting additional bootstrappers, even if they're just stubbed out bootstrappers, so they don't actually do anything yet? Whether you're okay with me putting additional bootstrappers into the resources repository so that I can test out installation of said bootstrapper files. Answers on a postcard, preferably in chat so I can see it. And while I'm waiting on that response, I'm going to continue with the merging of these PRs. So TypeScript is not something that we ship. It is something we run as part of the build. So I'm going to put this in here. And once this build completes, I'm going to say that that looks okay and that this looks okay. So we can say looks good to me, and we can say approve. And what was Stevie saying? Are you using Pester 5 or still 4.x? Stevie's using 4.x. I hit what I think is a bug in 5, but it might have been me. I need to switch back to 5 to see what working. Fun. So that build completed. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this one. And then I think the last remaining PR, or one of the last remaining PRs, is currently failing the build. It's failing the build because this is the one that we were playing with last week. So last week we had to change the way that TypeScript was called for this HTTP proxy agent. And for that, Nils was online and Nils was helping me with that TypeScript changes. But this has now bumped it to another major version. So I suspect there's going to be changes to this process again. And we'll need to figure out what that is. Why not use dependabot merge? In that way, it will merge when all CI processes is successful. I don't think I've got a good answer for you, Kim. Let's have a look. So, well, maybe I do have a slight answer for you. And the slight answer is that currently, I don't think the Cake build organization isn't set up, I don't think, to ensure that the pull request is at the head of the current target branch. So if I did this, I see what you're saying. I see. So once I kick off the thing, if I'm happy with it, I could just. I see what you're saying. Can be left at the same time as you approve the PR. I see what you're getting at. So, in which case, I would be okay with that. Yes, I see what you're getting at. But this one, Kim, if you remind me, we're currently not. So is this the one that pins an extension to a specific version of VS Code? And if it is, we haven't been updating this one because or in some of our other extensions, we haven't been updating this one because we want it to work in as early a version of VS Code as possible. Is that correct? So this one, I would probably want to say, don't update this, leave it at 36 because it's known to work at 36. So we go with that. Am I right in saying that this is the one that we would want to leave? So currently in our package.json, let's have a little look in here for VS Code. So there's that one. Now, is there not another one? The engine, yes. So it's either the engine, or it's maybe that one, the engine compatibility. It's maybe that one that we want to leave, whereas this one is the VS Code package. So if we were to go to npm.js, yeah, so I think we've come to the same conclusion. If I look for VS Code here, I'm surprised that that doesn't come up quicker. We'll look at this one. This package has been deprecated. Oh. So I should probably, I seem to remember this one now. So that one can go away. VS Code npm module provides VS Code extension authors tools to write extensions. It provides the type. I think we should do this as well while we're here. That's been. Here's what you can do, Micro. Remove the dependency, add the VS Code dependency. We did. So, Matthias, you're still. Did you hear my question, or did you answer it and I forgot? Did you hear the question I asked about Cake team members? What do you think? If not, I'll repeat the question, but I need an answer. Maybe. Okay, so my question for the two Cake team members that were in the chat, who Pascal hasn't replied either, but I'll say what I want to do. So what I want to work on tonight is I want to change the cake command. Better not step out again. I want to change the cake command, which is currently downloading the bootstrappers for cake.exe. So currently it comes up with download bootstrappers. It then prompts you with whether you want to download the Windows one or whether you want to download the POSIX one. I want to alter the flow of that command to say download bootstrappers, and then I want it to prompt which runner are you using. Are you using .NET Core Tool? Are you using .NET Framework? Are you using .NET Core? And then based on that selection, so the .NET Global Tool will be the top one, but based on that one, it will then say, well, do you want to download the Windows bootstrapper or do you want to download the POSIX bootstrapper? And assuming that you're okay with that, my suggestion was then I was going to go to the resources repository and stub out additional files for each of those things to then allow the downloading of those, even if they just say to do, these don't do anything yet. That's my plan. So are you, as the one remaining Cake member is in the chat room, or like I say, Pascal might have not listened to me either, would you be okay with that? Because that's the flow I want to go. Yes, essentially. So my plan would be to go to Cake build resources. Oh, Pascal is there. He is there, right? So that's maybe two yeses. Matthias hasn't said yes yet. So I might leave these ones because the existing redirects are already going to those ones. But I might create a new folder that is .NET Global Tool, build PS1, build.sh, Cake Core CLR, build.ps1, build.sh, and stub out those files, and then change the workflow of the extension to pull those files down. Okay, beautiful. The other thing is, I'm I was looking again at this repository. I don't think we need the overhead of having a develop branch and a master branch on this resources repository. So unless there was any suggestions or reasons why we would want to keep it, I was going to delete the develop branch in favor of just having a master branch. Any concerns, suggestions, or concerns about me doing that? While I reread up about what I do here, and for that purposes, okay, I've got one there. That's fine. So remove VS Code dependency. I'm going to do this while we're here. So remove the VS Code dependency. Delete this one. I'm going to go over here and delete that one. Add VS test dependency. So I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to say VS Code. And then I'm going to go over here and look at get13 OSS clip image VS Code. I'm going to have a wee sneaky peek at what we've done in this one. So in here, we did this. So let's just borrow that one. We'll put this in here. Okay, we did that. As the old VS Code module was also used for downloading the VS Code digestion, you need to manually install VS Code types that follows your VS Code engine. So the types for VS Code is this one. This is going to be this is not going to be the right one. So we'll have to change this to be the engine 24. Lots of scrolling. We're going to change this to be 24. And then manually install. Remove the post install. Forgot post install. We do, so we can remove that one. Add a test script. You can use point the test script. Add a test runner. Okay. I seem to remember something changed in here as well. Uncompile that. Watch. Copy. What's different here? Run test.js. So we've got one of those in here. That was out. Run test.js. Do we have one of those? We don't. Okay, fine. Just do work in main branch and retire master. That's another option. Maybe not. Yeah, sure. So I'm going to say this is going to be a maint remove deprecated package. I'm going to click on this as per instructions here. And I'm going to say that. That's not going to allow me to push it because I will first need to do a fetch. Get fetch upstream. Get rebase upstream develop. I should have done because it's the same thing. Let's see what the merge is like. Even better. Get rebase, continue. Sure, it's good to me. And then this change will be a .orig file, which we can revert. Don't need that anymore. And then we can do a git push upstream. That didn't say upstream. Upstream. Git push origin. So that should tell Dependabot that we don't need that PR anymore. So this PR will go away because we don't have that dependency anymore, which leaves this one. So this one will hopefully be getting rebased just now. So let's do a little looky here. Let's force this one to get a rebase. And then, okay, I can do what I was going to do here at some point. And then, let's see where we get to. So if I jump over here, I'm going to change this because I got shouted at about running this as an administrator. Look at me go. Maurice will be so happy with me. I'm going to not run this as administrator. CD into GitHub organizations cake build. What have I got in here? I do have a resources. So if I go into here, what branch am I on? I'm there. So git fetch upstream, git rebase upstream, develop. See, didn't like it. I wonder. See, therein lies part of the problem. Huh. All of these repositories are. I clone those repositories as part of my Vagrant setup, and that is running as an elevated user. So that will be, that's maybe part of the issue that I've been having on and off for accessing these repositories. CD into resources. Oh, hold on. Part of the issue. Do that again. CD into resources. Get remote add upstream to there. Get fetch upstream. Get rebase upstream develop. Get push origin. Get checkout master. Copy this in there. Did I get it? I did. Get fetch upstream. Get rebase upstream master. Get push origin. Okay, so having done all of that, I want to check to see if the develop branch is up to date with the master branch. If it is, I think I am going to delete the develop branch. Unless there is a shout of, no, don't do that. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that part just now, Maurice. No, that'll be a different day. For now, all I'm going to do, because that's probably a scope of work that we should do across all the cake repositories, other than cake itself, because it's already got a main branch. So if we go here, and I say that the default branch is now master. So I can go to branches. Well, let's do this. I'm going to delete those protection rules because I'm not going to need them. So let's do, where is my password? My password is here. We're going to pop that in there. That is gone. If I go into here, remember to clear your paste buffer. Sure, that's a good idea. Paste. Copy. If I go to, I want to go to next. I want to go to here. I'm going to go ahead and, right, I'm going to go ahead and delete this develop branch. Final chance to say no, don't do it. Otherwise, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Too late. Alright, it's deleted. So over here, get branch -d develop. There we go. Now we've just got a master branch, right? So we can come back to that. So now we go back up to here. We should have just 2 pull requests. Yes. And there's only 1 security warning now. We were up at like 7 before. The one that's left, minimist. Yeah. We'll maybe fix that by merging this in. So let's just maybe have a little look at the changes. And I wonder if this has minimist. No, it doesn't touch it. That doesn't mean it won't fix it. Okay, so let's do this, and let's do, okay, let's say we've viewed it, and let's go over here and say git fetch upstream, git rebase upstream develop. Okay, so GHPR list, GHPR checkout 426. So what we need to do is we need to figure out why this one doesn't work. And hopefully we can figure that out by running the build. Sorry, Matthias. I thought 5 seconds was enough. I thought that was fair. No? It's done. Done. What's going on here? It's thinking about something. Oh, that's not good. I wasn't expecting that to happen. And now you're coming out of the woodwork saying there's 2. Oh, that's just not good. Was closed. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them. Well, that's annoying. This PR wasn't meant to get closed. Apologies about that. I haven't got Slack open just now, Pascal, so can I? I haven't got Slack open because I'm on stream. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to this. That's kind of annoying. I didn't know it did that. Hey Jan, how are you? If you could, Pascal, I would appreciate it. Because I wasn't necessarily expecting that to happen. Right, what's this doing? This doesn't seem to have done what I asked it to do, which was to debug the extension. Okay, so that's now opencake.test. So now I'm back at this problem where it isn't showing the errors in VS Code when I build it. That seems like it's a bug, but I also haven't figured it out. I guess so, Kim. It just, but if you didn't have something like the Slack notifications that we have open, then how would you know that they got closed off without going back and going through them all? It might have been better to put a comment on the thread, comment on the issue or the PR saying this can no longer be merged. Well, maybe, but then I've turned off all of my notifications. Well, I haven't turned them all off, but they all come through Octobox. Don't know. Just seems a little bit of a harsh thing to do. Yeah, or at least suggest that you retarget it. Yeah, don't know. Right, let's see if we can figure out why this is failing and get this fixed, and then I'll be able to look at the workflow that I want to change. Did you have any more thoughts, Matthias, while you're here, on the issue of the configuration not working on my Mac? Did you have any other suggestions? Oh, well, that's annoying. How many PRs are we talking about here? That doesn't help, Maurice. Doesn't help. How many are we talking about, Pascal? I've done it now. I don't really want to put the develop branch back again. There is a restore option. 12? Okay, well, we could restore the develop branch because there is a restore button, and then we could retarget those PRs at master and then close develop. Does that sound more applicable? At least then they would still be open, and then we can make an informed decision. Okay. Right, I want to try and get this last PR in. So, saying it's the last one. I think it's the last one. Yeah. Get fetch options. Only a void function can be called with the new keyword, it says. I think so. So basically, a comment. What I would write would be a comment along the lines of, "We're doing some maintenance work in this repository. Um, we've removed the develop branch. If you still feel that this is an issue, can you please reopen this PR against the master branch, and then go from there." Thank you, Pascal. So the error is in. It is indeed in here. So line 38. It's this one. So it says, although it's gone away now, only a void function can be called with the new keyword. Okay. Let's have a wee sneaky peek at what we're doing here. And that's coming from there. See, it hasn't got the types again. That's an even more succinct message. I like Kim's one. Yes, I do. I like Kim's message. Right. Are you going to give me some type shit? You are. Declare function, create HTTP. Oh, hold on. This is source, shared, utils. I keep you open, and I want to keep you open. So this is the thing that we changed last week, which was to coerce a host and the port to be string so that we could pass it into the HTTP proxy agent constructor. Now it seems as though we need to change that to be so there's now a create HTTP proxy agent. So we're not newing something up now, I don't think. We now need to do this. Whoops, too many. Edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo. Does that work? Cannot find the name create HTTP proxy agent. Did you mean? No, that's not what I meant. Declare function. Export that one. I need to change this here too. Copy. It's not as simple as that, is it? Surely not. Huh. That was kind of a guess. Let's try that. Watch your language, please. I'll put you on timeout if you don't. Why do you think I censored it? I appreciate the censored swearing. That's the best way of doing it. Let's see if this build works. Let's have a wee look at what Pascal is doing on my mess up. Oh, it wasn't issues, was it? It was pull requests. Changes requested. That sounds like a Pascal thing. Or is that older one? That was from an older one. Oh, yeah, I've done it. We did some maintenance work in this repository, which included removing the develop branch, which closed this PR. Beautiful. Thank you very much. While we're doing that, let's just quickly check my emails here. Did everyone have a good Halloween? Did anyone get dressed up for Halloween? We didn't really have much in the way of Halloween celebrations here for the obvious COVID related issues. I don't think we had any trick-or-treaters at all. Normally we're quite busy, but there was none. No Halloween in. We have. What's that? What's a Saint Martin? What's that? Never celebrated Halloween. Usually never get anything we do in my country. Usually never been anything we do in my country. You normally have hundreds of people. Oh, we don't have that many, Stevie. We don't have anywhere near that amount. No. We had a bucket of, I think, maybe 30 sweets at most, and yeah, we didn't have any. I think we were left with like 29. Part of the time. So I'll copy this. Oh, it's the wrong copy. I'll put this into here while I'm updating this PR. St. Martin's Day, also known as the funeral of St. Martin, as well as Old Halloween and Old Hallowmas Eve. No idea. There we go. Learn something new every day. Neighbor works for a beverage distributor, so he just sets pallets in the yard. Next house down has a big popcorn machine. Wow. We have nothing like that. Nothing. We had a couple of cutouts of, in our house, we had a couple of cutouts of witches and ghosts in the window. We carved a couple of pumpkins and we put them on the doorstep. And that's about as far as it goes. Some of the houses in the street are a little bit more organised and have far more than that. But yeah, we don't. Update to new way of working. Let's just do it that way. That merge then. Get push. We should be able to just push that because it wasn't a rebase. Make sure that that works. Typically children on the as well. That's, yeah. See, my eldest child doesn't like dressing up in like outfits, costumes. She doesn't like doing it. She likes the whole concept of Halloween and taking part in it, but she doesn't want to dress up in a costume. She just outright refuses. St. Martin's Day is on November. Did I read that? Look at that. Huh. Didn't know that. That's my learn something new every day. History. Right. Let's get this build working, and then we'll be off to the races. So do folks get dressed up in costumes for St. Martin's Day, Maurice? Or is it not that kind of thing? Do folks dress up? Let's have a look for costume. No mention of costume. Dress. Oh. Didn't see any mention of it. When I was a kid, I hadn't even heard of Halloween. It started becoming a thing a few years at the beginning of the 2000s, but seems to have completely stopped. Interesting. It was always a thing when I was growing up, but we would carve turnips rather than pumpkins. Pumpkins weren't a thing when I was growing up. You would create a jack o' lantern from a turnip, and nowadays pumpkin seems to be becoming a big thing here. So there's lots of pumpkins on the go now, but not when I was growing up. There's also a tradition of duking for apples or bob for apples. Basically, throw some apples into a big tub of water, and you have to try and grab it with your teeth. So many good memories. So did I approve that? I did. So let's go ahead and merge this. Confirm the merge. Oh, what's this, Matthias? Debug cake tool. Hold on, what are you showing me here? What are you showing me? Build.cake, launch.json. This is on your Mac? Or this is on Windows? Right. So I see that working. What's in your launch.json file? Show me what's in your launch. Show me. You're not showing what's in your launch.json file. Oh, it's below. I see it. Never mind. Never mind. Launch. .NET Kit. This doesn't work for me. Hold on. Hold on. Copy. Oh, what are you doing? You come over here. Down here. .NET Conf. Launch.json. Right. I'm going to copy all of this. Copy. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I think I might know what it is. But I don't know yet. Let me see if this works. Save. It's missing what now? Configuration. Go away. See, what am I doing wrong? Let's put this up here. Let's bring this up into here. Right, close this. Launch.json. Copied and pasted from your one. I'm hitting F5 and it's coming up with that. So I don't understand why that's telling me that, but you clicked on this button and then you clicked on this one. I don't know if I've got a breakpoint, but let's stick one in here. Go away. So why was that not running when why is that not working when I press F5? Oh, look, see? It's the same thing. Launch program. Oh, you can't see it because it's off the top of the screen. But let's pull this down a little bit. So launch program does not exist. So why? What am I doing wrong? Because I've just copied and pasted your launch.json. What have I got in my system that makes it not work? I would love to know. Yeah, so what I was trying to get at, Kim, is like, so to expand a little bit on what Matthias said there, I was trying to run this on my Windows machine and it worked fine. I tried to run it on my Mac and it came up with that error that you just saw. So I was wanting to use the globally installed version for this launch.json, so I'm not too worried that it doesn't have the tool manifest version installed. Works fine on Linux as well. So what have I got in my system that means it doesn't work? I don't think there are any system level stuff that will be impacting on this. Any thoughts because on what that would be? Because if I come over here, you might not be able to see this very well, but if we come over to here, so this is me launching iTerm. Is that still building? Merged. It merged. Merged. Pull requests. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Why is this taking so long to load? There we go. So if I come up here and I do .NET Cake, then it runs, but it can't find anything, which is expected. But .NET Cake runs. So I'm really confused. So UAC is a Windows thing. So this is me on my Mac causing problems. Unless there's a UAC for Mac that I don't know about. So confused. I don't really want to get into this rabbit hole just now though, because gotcha. Okay, we're on the same page. Path is path variable modified. Does it work in terminal? Well, let's find out. Terminal. Oh, in this terminal. In this terminal? This one over here. You're over here. .NET cake. Just thinking. Just thinking. Yes, it does. So I've just brought this up to. Yes, it does. Did we rule out version info? So are you running a different version of Mac, different version of .NET to me? So I'm on 3.1.302. Because that's bizarre. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole. We'll come back to that particular rabbit in a bit. Mine's newer. How much newer? Or so I'm on 3.1.302. What are you on? 3.1.403. Yeah, there's not much to it, Stevie. It's so what we were trying to do there was we want to run. There's a difference between the exe name based on whether you're on Windows or whether you're on anything else. So we default it to this, and then if you're on Windows, then you use this. But I'm also on 5RC2. I mean, that shouldn't make a difference. What version of code are you on? What version of VS Code are you on? Because I've literally just updated. I'm on the latest VS Code. Not easy. Well, I guess so. I would need to. Yes, I can. It's in there somewhere. Right click copy works too. It's taking longer to fail. still taking longer to fail. Oh, did it get to there? Why did it get to? Oh, because that's my run target. Well, let's remove that guy. But why did that work? Why? That's okay. That one I can explain. No, I can't. Okay, it's a path issue. How does one fix the path issue? Because now it's telling me it can't locate the executable for the .NET Core CLI. Why not? Because it works fine when... I'm so confused. Okay. Let's talk about that later. I'll maybe give you a phone at some point in the next couple of days, Mateo. Figure it out. Okay, anyway, right. Back to here. Get, check out, develop. Get. I've got a talk to do in a couple of weeks, and you want me to install. No. I'm not doing it, Matthias. I just want it to work. Get, rebase, upstream, develop. Use the force, indeed. Get, push, origin. Right. So, where do we get to? So what I want to do now, or what I want to play with now, is, having done all of that work again, let's see if we can get to something working. So if I hit F5 now, maybe debug in a container. I want to try and keep the demo as simple as possible. Hey Nils, how are you? I've just updated some TypeScript all by myself, Nils. You should be you'll be proud of me. I fixed it. Extension host did not start in 10 seconds. What on earth does that mean? Let's close you again. Right. Why is this running like a slow person? Try and close out some of this. Empty paper. That's an option. I don't want to go down that route either, though. Not really. Right, here we go. So, now that we've done all that work again, let's take a look. So currently, if I go up to here and I go to the command palette and I do cake install a bootstrapper, what it'll prompt me for is whether I want to install the Windows one or whether I want to install the POSIX one. Why is that taking so long? Shouldn't be taking that long. Try again. Install a bootstrapper. Still saying activating extensions. You can't see it because it's behind my shoulder. Try that again. Seriously. You've just disappeared. Where have you gone? Try again. Okay. F1. Install a bootstrapper. install a bootstrapper. It's doing that again. Activating, you can't see it, it's behind me, but it says activating extensions, and then no, it's still there. And then it crashed. Okay. I'm trying to have a look at the logs now to see what's going on. I'm not convinced that I haven't broken something now. Oh dear. Let's see if we can get even to an entry point. So oh, hold on. In my launch.json, what does this do? I'm curious as to what the clip image one has. Clip image VS Code. VS Code. No. Looks very similar, if not exactly the same. Let's try doing it without doing that, and let's try doing it from here. Let's try one of the other cake commands. Let's try doing cake. Add tool from NuGet. Again, it's saying activating extent. You can't see it again down behind me. I think I've broken something. If I do it one more time. Not crashing, it's just not doing anything. Cake. It doesn't like it. I'm not having much luck with this extension, I'll be honest. I'm going to let this do a full build and then try running it again. This extension consists of 5001 files, out of which you should exclude unnecessary files by adding them to your VS Code ignore. That sounds like a great piece of advice, but how would I know which ones? Okay. Board. Show errors. Cannot find module or its corresponding type declarations. Right? What does that mean? I maybe didn't fix the error. Cannot find module HTTP proxy agent. Why not? It should be there. Node modules, HTTPS proxy agent, right? Dist, index. Why not? How it works. Cake. No, something is very broken, but I've got no idea what. Got a breakpoint here. See if we can get it to do anything. That should give me a breakpoint, right? What have I done? Oh, did it get there? Is it just really, really slow? Okay. Fine. Tokenization is skipped for what does that mean? And now it's is it just running really slow and it's not keeping up? Let's try it all over here. Fetch upstream. Try to get to the same point on my Mac. I'm going to try running it here and see if there's any difference in behavior. So this is VS Code running. This is VS Code running directly on my Mac. So I do this. Okay. Extension host terminated. Following extensions were running. Why would that prevent my... What? Going on? I'm so confused as to what's going on. I'm going to run a full build on my Mac as well. What? I'm getting such a bizarre error over here on my Mac that I've got no words. Who or what is using Kate Contrib GPR? I had that suspicion as well, but it's using an earlier version. So it shouldn't have that functionality. Seriously. What is so confused? I'm not having a good evening tonight. What does this mean? What version of NuGet do I have installed? F60. why there's something like that, right? NuGet update self. Is that it? So confused. Okay, so that explains why NuGet sources. How do I delete it? NuGet source, remove name, cake contrib, GPR. Wanted. Eh? I think I want to delete that one too. Okay. That means I can now run the build. Well, okay. Could have done that. But I think those I don't even know. I can't even remember putting those in play. To be honest, I'm actually happy to remove them globally. So that is a mono error, isn't it? In that NuGet.config file, I could have said sources clear to get a clean one, and that's maybe what I would have got from the new NuGet config. But they are hierarchical, yes. The assembly name is invalid. That's a mono thing, wasn't it? Did we decide that that was a problem with mono version? Could be old cake version. Oh, what are we putting to? I don't actually know whether I can run this. Well, let's give it a try. It's not complained so far. And all this just to prove that I haven't broken something. Ugh. Those warnings potentially need to be addressed at some point. Yeah, old incubator. Where do you see old TypeScript? What made you say that? What makes you ask that, Matthias? I think I bumped that last week. Yeah, I bumped that to the same as what was in clip image, if I recall correctly. Yeah. I think I'm currently installing the world. Why is this taking so long? Also, I still got open that I can close. Not much. That is definitely one that I would call a silly, yes, because it's caused me nothing but problems so far. Seriously. What are you doing? It certainly feels that way. Certainly feels that way. It's not really been a successful night tonight, I have to admit. Indeed. Indeed. Well, the heater's not currently on, so it must be. I must have reached an adequate temperature. If this is to be believed, I'm about 2/3 of the way through. didn't look really good. And then just all of a sudden it died. What the hell? Why don't you just work? I just want to cry at this point. I don't understand why this F5 is telling me that again. Now it's like it's lost the launch.json file again, even though it is clearly there. I really just want to cry. I just want to cry. If anybody out there wants to try running this for me and letting me know if it's working for them, that would be appreciated. Because at this point, I've got no idea what's going on. Close everything. Yeah, at this point, Nils. Yeah, clean checkout. I mean, I don't have any unsaved changes. I would like to know if it just runs, because so when you say it runs, you hit F5. Can you run a cake command? So if you open up the command palette and type cake and then run, say, the Bootstrapper one, does it work? Really? Why is it not working for me? Why is it not working for me? It's not helpful with this. It's not helpful at all. I mean, we could do a comparison. What do you have, Nils, installed? Let's find out, shall we? We're not too far off. What node version do you have? Okay, so you're a good bit. a good bit ahead of me in that regard. But if it was something like that, you would I would hope, I would expect, I would want that it would come up with some sort of error, not just die. Maybe I'm asking for too much. I don't know. Now it seems to have just hung. This feels like a call it a night and come back another day, sort of. So what is this stuck? It seems to be stuck saying building when it's not doing anything. I just want to kick something. See, why is it working for everyone else? Anyone else want to do the work? I'd appreciate it. And what npm and node versions have you got, Mateus, if you don't mind me asking? This is where Mateus tells me he did it all on his phone. He had a code space set up. He compiled it, ran it, debugged it remotely. Everything just worked. I'm not bitter. You're really not helping. You're really not. Is it just my machine? I think he was joking. I think he was just rubbing salt in the wound. I've got 5 minutes left. If this doesn't do something in the next wee while, I'm just going to call it. What is Visual Studio Code doing with 50 odd percent on my CPU? And why is Node? What's Node doing? He's just rubbing a little salt in the wound there as well for me, Nils. I appreciate it. Okay, the extension development host at least came up this time. But 60% CPU now. What are all these? What? 80%. F1. Cake. Install a bootstrapper. And then it comes up in the bottom. You can't see it, but it's saying activating extensions. And then it doesn't do anything. I try it again. F1. Install a bootstrapper. It's spinning saying activating extensions again. Alright, I'm done. I'm calling it. I'm gonna I'm gonna bang my head against this. Oh, hold on. it got to my breakpoint again. You're just toying with me now, aren't you? You're just toying with me. No. Right. Sod it. I am giving up for the evening. I've had enough. I'll write that down. Oh, so you're on the same as Nils. So you're on. I'm on 14.4. You're both on 14.8. And what? Okay, so can you complete? Oh, hold on. Now it comes up. Right at the point. He's just toying with me. VS Code is just. It's just. I don't know what. So if I click that, it should prompt me to say, "Are you sure you want to override?" See, you're just. I don't even know what to say to you anymore. VS Code. We're done. We're done. I've had enough. So, as a quick recap, the intention for tonight was to do some TypeScript development to get to a point where we can alter the workflow of the installation of the bootstrappers. Instead, all we've really achieved is we've merged in a couple of PRs. We deleted a develop branch and broke 12 other PRs in the Cake resources repository. And we proceeded to try and get VS Code to run some TypeScript code. And we failed. Or I failed. Nils and Matthias were both able to do it without any problems. And I tried both on my Mac and on Windows. And none of that worked at all. You're both on a much higher version of Node than I am currently. Let me just see what I've got on. See, that doesn't make any sense. 1410. Don't know. Don't know. Oh, you see, I don't know why I talk to you, Matthias. I don't know why I talk to you. Oh. That's what I will do, Maurice, but not tonight. I'm done. I'm done. I just want to cry. I really do. But yes, thank you all for joining. I do appreciate it. You just come along and witness me slowly degrade into madness. I think it's what it's going to come to. But anyway, I do appreciate you hanging out. I will maybe have a bash at this tomorrow and see if I can get anywhere. Like Maurice says, I'll upgrade Node and NPM on my boxes and see if that makes any difference. But for now, I'm going. I'm done. So talk to you later. Have a good evening.